You've got to be kidding me.
Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown.
And he will score. Deep upfield, down the near side, that open. Touchdown. The run from Tua Tagovailoa.
Touchdown.
He's going deep. He's got it for a touchdown. He's in. Touchdown.
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan.
Let's go!
What is good, Fin Nation? What is good? Your Miami Dolphins are 6-2 for the first time in 22 years. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to open this up to all of y'all in just a minute here. Before we do, man, can we just take a moment to speak about the resiliency of this team? Can we just take a moment to praise this team for what they've been fighting through with the injuries and everything going on? And this team, I mean, we put up 31 points today. And how many starters did we have on the offensive line today? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. All right? This team is fighting through some real adversity right now. I mean, you know, now I think I saw that, what is it? Brandon Jones is hurt. He's questionable return at one point. It's just a lot of injuries lining up. Look at this offensive line right now. This team is working with an interior of Robert Jones, Liam Eichenberg, and Lester Cotton. Robert Hunt went to the back under his own accord today. I hope he's okay. Lamb came back into the game after he went down. We had Keon Smith sighting in there. That's when it got real worrisome. But, I mean, this team, for what they love to do when they love to run the ball, how can you expect this team to run the ball real well when this is what they're dealing with, right? You got to get off that edge now. You can't – those gap runs, man, they are seriously compromised with what this team is fielding as an offensive line. I mean – and, you know, listen, this team, we let the Patriots stick around, but the offense, when they had the chance, what'd they do? They put them to bed. They put them right to sleep. So, I mean, you know, 6-2, for me at least, it's nothing to simply shake a stick at all. This team, you know, now we're heading into this big game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And, man, there is so much on the line with that. We took care of business. We took care of business while we were undermanned as well. That's why I think you got to give them even more credit. Because, again, the adversity this team has faced and the resiliency they've shown, it's very impressive. It's very impressive, and it's something that I wouldn't be taking for granted right now. Sure, they've been put in these situations where they face adversity against teams they should take care of. I agree with that. But the fact of the matter is they're still taking care of it. I mean, I go back to that Carolina Panthers game. The old Dolphins team we know, when they got down 14-0, they would have either played down to the competition and squeaked out a win, or they would have just straight up lost that game. Instead, they rifled off 35 straight points. Should have been 42 if not for a Mike White pick six. And Tua Tagovailoa today, we'll get into it right here, actually. You know, Tua Tagovailoa today, if not for drops from Tyreek Hill and Waddle, the day would have come a lot sooner for him. But I mean, it is what it is. You take it as you can get it a little bit here, right? So let's get into it. Let's show y'all what Tua did today in case you didn't happen to check it out. Tua ended up having quite the day. 30 of 45, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, took 2 sacks, lost 12 yards on it, had a passer rating of 100.6. You see Raheem Mostert, 13 carries for 46 yards. Jeff Wilson, 5 carries for 23. Jalen Waddle, leading receiver, 7 receptions for 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions for 112 yards, 1 touchdown as well. Man, hey, we all thought we'd probably see Tyreek Hill, if Jalen Waddle had more snaps because Tyreek Hill was hurt, but Tyreek Hill didn't show any signs. If that's him playing with a hurt hip, my Lord. My Lord. And if you didn't know, that was the first 100-yard game since 2018 for Tyreek Hill against the Bill Belichick, the genius defensive coach led New England Patriots. And that was his first, obviously, because of that. That was also his first 100-yard game as a Dolphin against the Patriots. He had like 94, 96 last year in the first game against them. And Jalen Phillips, man, that tackle should be well into the double digits. And so should the tackle for losses should be at like 3. He had a good game, but it could have been a lot better. I still say he had a good game, but he left plays on the field. It could have been better. Now, Brandon Jones, I thought he looked a whole hell of a lot different than he did a few weeks ago when he started. He looked good today. He had a pick that was called back. So he looked good. Kyle Duggar looked good for them too. I know I said that. I've been saying that all day, but he did. He was all over the field. And then, you look at this, how this all works out. The Dolphins, 24 first downs to New England's 13. Third down, Miami was 5 of 14. New England was 1 of 9. Dolphins were 3 of 3 on fourth down. New England was 1 of 1 for 2. Total plays 73 to 51. Total yards 390 to 218. 312 passing yards to 141. Remember, the New England Patriots didn't even have 100 passing yards or 50 rushing yards heading into the start of that fourth quarter. So they finished with 77 rushing yards to our 78. Not really great. We rushed. It's not like we didn't try. We rushed the ball 26 times, right? We only had average 3 yards per rush. I mean, they should have fed Wilson more. I just don't understand the reluctancy to go to the hot hand. In the red zone, the Dolphins were 2 for 4 in terms of finishing with touchdowns. The Patriots were 1 for 2. Turnovers, we lost the turnover battle. We had a fumble that was lost and an interception. Well, they just had that interception, but we dominated time of possession, 35 minutes and 55 seconds to 24 minutes and 5 seconds. So, listen, I thought that was a really good performance by the defense. I think this defense has been getting better as the season has gone on. That's why originally I said early on, hey, give them till week 8, see how it plays out, let them do what they got to do, and we can see where we go from there. And they really have gotten better, I think, as it's progressed. The players have gotten comfortable. They're making more splash plays. And let's talk about Ramsey today. Ramsey was an absolute monster. Had the interception, had the forced fumble. Man, wasn't targeted a lot because they wanted nothing completely. They wanted absolutely nothing to do with him. And why, who blames them, right? I mean, let's be honest here. Who blames them? So, man, I just thought that was an unbelievable game. I thought David Long even looked good again. He continues to really look strong in this defense as we go along here. I thought Baker had a good game. I thought overall that was a pretty solid game. I will say this: Zach Seiler continues to just. You don't hear about him as much as you did before we paid him. Let me put it that way. All right. That's how I truly feel. Listen, and that's not a knock. I'm a Zach Seiler fan, but let's be real here, right? And again, let's praise that resiliency for this team. I mean, you're dealing with an offensive line. At one point, that offensive line was Keon Smith, Robert Jones, Liam Eichenberg, Lester Cotton, and as well Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson was our only starter at one point today. Put that in perspective. And listen, we caught a break with that flag. We took 5 yards instead of potentially losing the ball on that flag with the bad Liam Eichenberg snap that hit Julian Hill on the motion. We caught breaks today. So hey, listen, a win's a win. This team is 6-2. I think X and Connor are back next week. Armstead, I think he's still 50-50. I think that's still a tricky situation. I think, from what I understand, they believe he could still get hurt again, and they want him as healthy as possible for that playoff run. That's where they're at. So 415 of you in the room, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Waddle gave me the yards I needed for my parlay, but Jordan Addison was 28 yards short of helping me out. So thanks, Jordan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a whole hell of a lot. And the Jets just pull out an upset 13-10. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Who are these Jets? Imagine if, hey man, maybe if they would have had Aaron Rodgers, there'd be something to talk about, because they're 4-3 with Zach Wilson right now. Zach Wilson was 17 of 36 for 240 and a touchdown. Anyways, link is going in the chat. 430 of you in the room. We got a couple of you guys backstage. Come up here. Guys, we're 6-2. We're heading into a huge game with the Chiefs. I want to hear what you guys got to say. I want to hear your thoughts. So let's get into it. Let's start off with Joe. Gentlemen, we'll start off with Yawn. How are you guys feeling after that win? This team is 6-0. How are you guys feeling?
I'm happy we're 6-2. Super happy we're 6.
Oh my God, it's 6-0.
I wish it were 6-0, but I'm super happy we're 6-2. I want some of the small stuff to be cleaned up, and I want a damn good game against the Chiefs. I want to put some of these skeletons to rest.
Yeah, there's going to be implications on that. Joe, how are you feeling after that game?
I'm feeling great. I think our defense did amazing, and our offensive line was obliterated, like you said. I mean, when Wynn went down, we were like, oh my God. And Wynn was an off-the-street player from last year. So for our offensive line to be able to just get obliterated and for us to still stay in it, I don't think we're going to have a run game, because it takes a good offensive line to have a good run game, but for them to be able to hold their own with Tua going back and making it happen and still getting the 31-17 was the score I was hearing all week long, and we hit exactly that with a beat up offensive line. So I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I think that's the exact score that Ball Game predicted, if I remember correctly too. And then I think that's the same score Richmond predicted as well. Yawn, your thoughts on the game and how everything went?
Hey man, fins up guys. Thank you for having me on. I'm really happy with today's win. I'm happy we're 6-2. We definitely have some O-line issues and needs. We definitely need to be buyers, bro, by the end of this trade deadline, in my opinion, for the O-line. We had a really messy start to the game, and that's what Belichick does, that Belichick-led defenses. That's what it does to the best of any NFL offense. Mm-hmm. And Ramsey today was just amazing, bro. That pick he had reminded me of Sean Taylor, bro. It was a really, really good defensive performance today. So I'm really happy, bro.
Yeah, and like the point made in the chat, got to clean up those drops. I mean, imagine the day that Tua Tagovailoa is having if you get those drops cleaned up. I mean, And imagine the day Waddle has. Waddle would have had over 150 yards if he would have cleaned up, if he wouldn't have been his own worst enemy. Got to clean up those drops, man. Listen, that was the Patriots, an offense that's been adept at times this year. So, in a game where it's going to be a tough one coming down to the wire, those drops could be the difference of whether you handle business or whether you don't. So, Bari, let's get your thoughts, and then Brian will get your thoughts.
Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, man. Salute everybody, man. Fins up. Great win, 6-2. Shout out to a certain coach that told my quarterback if he knew he would be this bad, he would have drafted Mac Jones. Shout out to that guy. Hey, man. This O-line, bro. We have to F them picks. Don't send them first, but send with everything else. Go get somebody. We gotta hopefully Armstead comes back. Connor Williams, I know he was healthy to play, but we held it down without him, man. Hey, man. Shout out to Tyreek. Hey, man, I'm the biggest Waddle fan in the world, bro. He has to stop being a body catcher. He has to start catching. Like, you see that slant he caught with his hands?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He makes the hardest catches, has the easiest concentration drops. Mm-hmm. It's like, come on, bro. And like when we need him, he has to make those catches. That fade ball through to him, you got to catch that, bro. Like, he has to get in the lab and work on his hands. If he becomes more of a hands catcher, he'll be starting really start ranking up as one of the top receivers, and he already is one of, in my eyes, the top 10 receiver in the league already. So if he just gets better with his hands, it will be better. This game, bro, I don't know if Savon Ahmed has like dirt on Mike McDaniel.
I'm done on this guy. I'm done, bro. On Salvin Ahmed.
We seen as soon as the game began, bro. Jeff Wilson had the freshest legs. He was getting 5 yards per carry. We should have just let him be the workhorse and sprinkled in Mostert in this game. Mostert redeemed himself a little bit in the second half, but Mostert has to get better with these fumbles, man.
Yeah, I saw people there. I saw while we were watching the game and live reacting to it. I saw people on Twitter trying to blame Tua for the fumble because the fumble was charged to Tua. Well,
he put the ball in his chest.
Of course, they're going to charge the quarterback on that play, but that was not Tua's. Like, when you watch that replay, that thing was on the money, right in the numbers. That was on Raheem. Raheem looked like he was looking up, not concentrating on what was ahead of him. And
can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing too, man? Doesn't it feel good to end the game without seeing your cornerbacks get toasted, man? Man, shout out Jalen Ramsey, man. Comes back, best DB in the league.
That
comes
guy's
back.
awesome.
Mac wanted nothing to do with that side.
Exactly.
Bro, when X comes back, oh my God,
there's going to be
potential. This thing might be crazy.
You saw how Jalen Ramsey broke off his route and went to the other one that wasn't even his man.
Bro,
when X comes back, X is going to be roaming and doing that type stuff with Ramsey on the other side, with Cater in the slot, with Holland on top to help. Like, this defense is going to get way better when everybody gets back healthy, man. It feels good to have
Eli
secondary.
Apple. I mean, I know he had that pass breakup, but I mean, maybe it goes back. I know a lot of people have been trying to say maturity issues, and I believe I was the first one who put that out there, the maturity issues. Because remember, if y'all remember, in the offseason, I reported that that's the reason why they were waiting on giving him his money. Remember, everyone was wondering why they signed all the rookies, but they are signing him. And I reported that it's because they didn't want him running wild around Miami with a bag. And I don't know if now we're seeing maturity issues. I don't know what the deal is. Shout out to Bill. Tua haters can't find the goalposts right now. But I mean, you can't tell me Eli Apple and Justin Bethel are better options right now. And I said this on the Patreon and for channel members on the community tab in my post yesterday. Because I had a post yesterday. I told y'all what Patrick Surtain's preference where to go is, and it ain't Miami, and I'm sure I broke some hearts. But in that, I also talked about why are you giving Perry Nickerson reps? I get it. He's a slot guy in the nickel and dime packages. I had a good conversation with Daniel Ifusi on open threads, basically on X or Twitter yesterday. I get you're putting him in the slot, but That's Cater's natural position, and he's looked better at this stage in his development in the slot than on the boundary, especially against the big guys. And B, I mean, if you don't trust Cam Smith that much, put him on the boundary. And if you don't like what you see, rotate in Eli Apple. And Fangio's been, I don't like rotating guys in. What are you talking about? You've rotated Justin Bethel in and out of the lineup how many times this year? I just don't get this. Cater should have been shifted into the slot, X playing the opposite side, and then Cam on the other side. And if you don't like what you see from Cam, then you rotate back in Eli. And you had that Panthers game. You had that Giants game. You had this game as well. You had offenses where you could have got those key reps in for Cam Smith. Instead, you gave those reps, minus this game, obviously, to Perry Nickerson, who you ended up cutting for Jalen Ramsey. That's a boundary guy. Initially, he could play the slot. He could play high. He's a star guy. He could play everything. But initially, a boundary guy, you cut him for a boundary guy anyways. So, I don't get Fangio. Listen, everyone knows I've defended Fangio. I told everyone to be patient. We're seeing that come to fruition with the results of this defense getting better week by week. But there are certain personnel decisions I didn't like. Like, I know for a fact, I said this in the update yesterday, I know for a fact Xavier Howard wasn't happy he didn't play last week. And there was already a little bit of a ripple there because he was not happy when he went to the staff at halftime and asked to shadow Stephon Diggs, and they said no, he felt disrespected. So I'm wondering if he's mad again when, I was even of the notion in, I said in my Patreon update, my channel member update, with Ramsey coming back, this is the perfect opportunity to rest X. And they listened to that. Just like they've listened, they did that just like they've done it with Connor Williams, because guys, they thought they could win this game. I said this at the beginning of the game. They thought they could win this game undermanned. They were right. Obviously, they got even more undermanned than they went into the game with, but they thought they could win this game, and their focus has always been get as many guys back as you can for the Chiefs game so they can play that one game. Then they got the rest of the week to get healthy. Then they're off the weekend. Then they don't play football for 14 days, basically. So that's always been, see if you can get 6-2, 7-1 by that Chiefs game. Do what you got to do in that Chiefs game. Handle your business. And if you can go into that bye 7-2, and you're getting these all, like A-Chain is going to be back the first game after the Chiefs game. Armstead's going to be back after the Chiefs game. After the bye at the latest. So you're going to be getting all these bodies back. Now, the early, and I went more into detail, and I'm not going to go into detail here on the Patreon because that's not fair to my patrons and channel members. But this initial stuff I'm hearing about Wynn is not great. So with what happened today, I don't know what the diagnosis is with Hunt, but you're going to have to, listen, Cody Whitehair, James Brunskill, Cesar Ruiz, Ezra Cleveland. I don't care who you got to target right now. And I think
how about Garrett Bowles from the Broncos?
Why?
No, I'm just asking. He's an offensive guard.
No, he's a tackle. He's a left tackle.
Is he? Okay.
He's a starting left tackle. And Armstead's coming back, so you don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen people suggest that, and I think that makes no sense. I'm not saying I've seen other people suggest it because you thought he was a guard. But I've seen other people suggest and even bring up his numbers and where it says he's a tackle.
Okay.
No. Garrett Bowles is a starting left tackle, and you're getting Armstead back, right? And Kendall Lamb's healthy enough where he's been far than more serviceable. You don't have to make an investment in a tackle right now. You need a guard that can play either both guard positions or play a guard position and center in case this thing with Connor Williams is nagging. So we got to wait and hear what Robert Hunt is. When I pass it off to one of you, I'll look into the Robert Hunt thing right now. But for me, this team is so close. There's no way they don't make it. There's no way they aren't sniffing around at the hardest rate possible by the trade deadline. There's just no way. I don't see it not happening. Because they're so close. I mean, guys, right now we're in second place in the AFC. We have home field advantage. Basically, if everything went by seeding, the only people who had home field advantage over us are the Kansas City Chiefs, and the only way we'd see them is in the AFC Championship. And we have a chance next week to beat them and grasp that number 1 seed. I'm telling y'all, they're about to go balls deep. Something's gonna happen. There's no way they sit on their hands
Let's go.
with these injuries going on.
Let's
I
go,
just do
baby. Yes,
not
sir.
see it happening. Anyways, Brian, I don't think I gave you a chance, so go ahead.
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna start off with the offense first, just because I know the offense at first it was a bit like rusty at first because I know we didn't do well first, but then it started to click and it did good. And man, Tyreek was just phenomenal this game. Tyreek did good. I mean, first 1,000 yards already in the first 8 weeks. That's crazy already. And I remember I was telling people that in the live stream actually that I know Tua threw the pick, which it was pretty stupid at the time. But the thing that we all know is that obviously when Tua throws a pick, he obviously bounces back and either throws a touchdown or helps us get on the board. And so what happened was that a couple plays later, he just threw a beautiful bomb to Tyreek. It was a beautiful touchdown. And then the chat started to become a little more positive because I was trying to tell people to don't worry about it. But then he bounced back, and then we got the other 2 touchdowns, which was nice. And we did pretty good. Now I know the offensive line was pretty banged up with Robert Hunt going down, then Lamb, but and then Keon Smith, he did okay for the most part. He was okay, I guess. And then Lamb came back, that was pretty good. And then Liam, it was okay, I guess. I mean, it wasn't terrible, But other than that, it was pretty good. And then for defense,
Sorry to cut you off, bro. Let's go because I want to get an update on this.
Okay.
So sorry to cut you off, but I want to go here. Here's Mike Daniel. He's at the podium right now.
Coach, we know mindset matter. This week is the same exact score as last week. What was different that you all did mostly to prepare for the last this victory?
We changed it up from last week, and it appears we scored more points than the opponent, so that was good. The overall, I couldn't. This is a really, really cool win, just for the team. It's the first time since I've been here that we've been able to beat a division opponent twice.
Sweep.
You get a great test of where you're at as a football team when you have a division game, and then on top of that, you're going overseas the next week, and on top of that, you have Hard Knocks the week after. That is leading the league in potential distractions. So I knew we were going to find out a lot about our team today, and that I could care less about what their record is. That is a tough team to go against, and that they made their plays. They made it very difficult, but 100% our guys weren't looking at anything but today, which is why we were able to be victorious. Because
Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles today.
In anything we did,
oof,
that sucks. Lost that game for sure. So I'm very proud. And the reason why the scores were different was because we diligently went back to work, didn't waste any time talking about all sorts of things.
The penalties,
like why we lost, or try to point fingers or call out a ref or something. Like none of that was occurring in our building. We went to work and worried about the details and fundamentals of our individual jobs, and collectively we're satisfied, or we're left satisfied with the outcome. So very happy.
Jalen Ramsey do?
Well, he totally disappointed me. He called that he was going to come back and have a pick six, not a pick field goal. It's phenomenal. Like, you want to talk about something that goes above and beyond. Like, you can't manufacture what he brought to our team in any other way. His play, but the commitment it took to play in that game, everybody witnessed firsthand. And you want to talk about it, not wanting to let someone down as a teammate. There's that was a special thing to be a part of, to watch his journey, unwavering conviction from I think it was July 27th or
ridiculous.
28th.
He's in Jalen Ramsey.
He got hurt with that mindset, telling his teammates, hey, just hold it down. I'm going to come back and I'm going to beat whatever timetable by a month. That's immediately what his mindset was. and we never gave him a timetable. And then he ended up telling me last time we played the Patriots during the game on the field that he was coming back for this game. I shared that with the team this last week.
Wow, he called his shot.
It's just a really
called it.
It was awesome to be a part of, and I think it speaks to the locker room. And you don't do all that if you're not yearning to play with these people that you just started to become a teammate with. So big part of the reason why we won is that collective nature that he epitomized.
Like that last scoring drive, they cut it to one score, and you have a couple of big third downs. I think one pass to Tyreek at the 50-yard line, and then obviously the touchdown wide open. Not just for this game, but how big is that as far as a growth thing?
You want to talk between Tua and Tyreek? That third down in particular was unbelievable. We were hot. He had his timing of that route is he sped it up. He went faster than you should because they ran zero, and for them to make that play, those are what big time players do in big time games. This was big for us, a home game against a division opponent, and it's awesome to be a part of. Both those guys wanted to win the game. Kept, if there was any sort of timeout, I think in the second half, a stoppage of play, I should say, Tyreek was looking at me, trying to get my eye contact, which I know exactly what that means. Tua was locked in, didn't have ebbs and flows up and down. He was able to make plays after being frustrated, which has been one of the reasons he's had success, or that much more success this season, is he's learned in such a short period of time how to be critical of yourself, but not handcuff yourself as well. Because if you're self-lashing for a series or a quarter, you're not going to like the results of your play. So I'm very, very proud of where he's at. He was laser focused, and that the last touchdown drive was phenomenal. The last touchdown, the Tyreek was in jet motion, and they tried to go in and out on the fly. Yeah. Long story short, it was zero, and Tua hung on to the ball longer than he usually does because he saw it all. So you have to be of clear mind in those points of the game to make those type of plays. It was a very, very, very. I mean, it was one of the better defensive game plans that I've really ever gone against. The Patriots had an unbelievable plan to really, kind of try to bottle us in, and
they were
able to make plays.
They did good.
In key situations, which was always fun to be around.
Mike, you mentioned that jet motion on the block touchdown. It seems like this season we've talked about the short
Shout out to
motion,
Kyle Blow for becoming a
it
member.
seems like it may have brought back that jet motion.
I know. There wasn't good enough headlines, so we had to run it more to get headlines. No, I think that there's reasons for everything that.
I think your tour's going on 12th, man.
Specifically,
You don't got to worry. She ain't coming to Frankfurt.
We knew in the game we were going to have a couple more of those for this game. We typically have one. We typically have them every week.
We're waiting to hear from Topher. We're waiting for the update on Hunt.
Our DNA. We pre-snap motion to gain advantages for ourselves, but you have to be super detailed to be able to do that at a high rate with snap counts, motion landmarks, and it takes 100% commitment from all those guys to be able to get that done. And it can be more difficult for the defense to stop if you're executing and taking advantage of things things like that, and you have players that can do stuff like that. Oh man, dude, he's at home right now, just like firing questions off at me in the mirror. Like,
That's
he's like, so what about? I can't wait to see him, man. I'm excited about it. Now he better be.
Just back injuries you guys had with Rob and Kendall.
Here we go.
You didn't go to Connor. Were you concerned at that point that you're down 4 offensive linemen on the season at that point? What was all going on? Why didn't Connor see the field?
No, that was it was protective measure. He was able to play. We were worried about the ramifications if he did play over the course of a 4-quarter game. So we had him there in case a catastrophe happened, and we were close to that. Or if we had to shuffle, there's a couple of variables where we might have to shuffle Liam out of the center position if certain people got hurt. So we had a plan of that.
There you go.
Hat goes off to, Butch Berry and Frank Smith and the whole group, because
Butch Berry,
nobody panicked.
The GOAT,
Those Broncos
we
fans
were
don't know
prepared
what
for the
they're
moment,
talking
and
about.
That's what I've been
Neither
saying.
does neither does their media.
Throughout from preseason on, is we were very fortunate to have really good players and some depth at that position. Have a lot of faith in those guys. They'll only get better with more reps. It's very hard to come into a game in the National Football League off the bench, particularly. It's like a quarterback where you go 0 to 60. But we have the right people to do it, and I'll look forward to seeing whatever offensive lineman we have this next week. And,
Oh man.
Coming up with a game plan and watching them execute it.
How about whichever one we can get on Tuesday?
What was the thought process behind getting there early versus
We'll see.
practicing at home?
No one followed up.
So,
on prognosis with Hunt.
There's so many people that haven't been to Germany, and I kind of wanted to get settled and have
we'll get answers when we see who travels to Germany, right?
So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that was more routine, as well as I didn't want people, you have a player day off. Why don't you use that to see the sights as opposed to getting there late? And I was kind of nervous about people trying to cram in sightseeing. So, I think it provides an opportunity to go as a team, spend time together, spend the player day off together, and further cement some memories for us to hold on to as we progress.
They're leaving tomorrow, I think.
With this team, so that's kind of my thought process.
That's good.
There's some science stuff that
You have to get ready.
Don't call me on that because I can't. It was like back from May or April when we made this decision, so I can't really remember the science. So outed myself.
I wanted to ask you about Tehran. I know he's eligible to come back this week. You've always had a high opinion of him and trust in his body of where he is. Is he going to be practicing to play or practicing to get back into football shape?
Well, I know he's going to be practicing talking my ear off because I can already feel it looming.
There you go.
But that's a decision that, with the information that Kyle and his staff provide, Chris and I will
We're going to get Armstead and Connor back.
It involves other players on the
and
roster.
Ramsey.
And I will tell you
Watch.
this. He'll
Watch.
Turn a camera on me. He'll be right here being like, really selling that because that's the cool thing about the locker room we have. Guys want to play with each other and for each other, and so we'll be handling that as an organization. Next week. Today we got a huge important division win So we'll ride that out until the sunset today, and worry about Germany tomorrow.
So,
all right.
I mean, man, listen, some takeaways there for me. It sounds like Armstead's going to be practicing to try and push these guys to let them play this week. I think Connor Williams is going to be, I've heard, I mean, he was active today. That shows you he could have gone if they needed him. And so, I mean, you could have Connor Williams and Teron Armstead back to this offensive line next week. And all of a sudden, you got probably, this is how I see it going down. You probably have Teron Armstead, then Liam Eichenberg, Connor Williams, then Robert Jones, and then Austin Jackson from left to right. That's probably what they're gonna because they found more success with Eichenberg on the left side than they did on the right, and that's what they tried to make him fit before they put him at center, was at left guard. Now, do they go Robert Jones and Lester Cotton? Robert Jones at left guard and Lester Cotton at right? Maybe those guys are more built for it. But I think they're just gonna try. From what I understood, they were gonna give Eichenberg the first crack at Isaiah Wynn's left guard spot when Connor Williams is healthy. And now that there's 2 spots open, it's probably gonna be him and Robert Jones filling in. That's how I think it. But Eichenberg's gonna be on a short leash at guard. I know that for sure. So I mean, they kind of had him in on a short leash today, if you think about it, by activating Connor Williams but not starting him. If that thing was going to collapse in the middle and everyone was healthy, you probably would have saw Connor come in and Eichenberg ride the pine. But that tells you that, if X was mad that he didn't play last week and he sat out another week, if, Connor has been good to go the last couple of weeks, but he's just not pushing it, that tells you those guys are probably going to they've been eyeing the Chiefs game. So has the team. And it feels, because what is McDaniel always saying? He's protecting the players from themselves, right? And that's because I think they're eyeing that Chiefs game they have been the whole time. Because listen, even if these guys are a little bit banged up, but you bring them off to play that Chiefs game, like I said, then you got 14 days after the Chiefs game until you just hope they don't re-aggravate anything serious, and then you got 14 more days to rest up for the next game. So there's a chance here. It's a unique situation. We're 6-2, guys. We're 6-2 with all these.
Amen.
We're trying to navigate this offensive line with these injuries. Where under the Flores era, this would have just destroyed our offense because they couldn't afford this stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's just crazy and wild.
Last year we had the same thing. We had offensive line. We rotated offensive linemen in last year like crazy. And and we still did good, and that was without Butch Berry. And with him in the mix, I'm pretty confident that we could get bodies in there and use scheme and coaching to make it work, which I never felt in my whole life as a Miami Dolphin.
Guys, I got to bounce. Reason, I want to thank you for letting me on. Thanks for correcting me on the Garrett Bowles question. Hopefully we go heavy in these next couple of days, bro, to try to get a quality O-line, not be in the tackle, obviously, because I stand with you on what our team needs. And I just can't wait for Sunday, guys. So God bless and fins up, all right?
Yeah, fins up, bro.
Please. Thank you.
Have a good night, man.
The reason why, I like guys like Brunskill and Cody Whitehair and even Cesar Ruiz, is they can play guard and center. Yeah, but I love Brunskill too. Tyler, what's going on? How you feeling? Another big day for Tua, huh?
Yeah. I like the bounce back by the team as a whole in the second half. Drops need to can't be a lot of drops in this game. Hopefully Connor Williams is able to play all 4 quarters next week. Do
you remember Waddle being this bad with the drops at Bama?
No, never.
No. It wasn't in his college days. It wasn't an issue. College, he was catching everything. So they definitely need to play with the jug machine in the off season. Hopefully Jeff Wilson gets more run against Kansas City. I mean, nothing against Raheem Mostert, but I would like to see him get some reps in as well. Happy for Chase Claypool to get his first, catch as a Miami Dolphin. Wonder if hopefully they'll use him in red zone situations because he's a big guy. Defensively, I like that we get a lot of pressures. Bradley Chubb went off in this game. Jalen Phillips got him one. Christian Wilkins played good, especially in the run game. Did he get a sack?
Wilkins, yeah, he did.
Yeah, Wilkins
Okay.
got a sack. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So still say we need to get home more as far as getting to the quarterback, but Bradley Chubb been playing well these last 2 months. Jalen Ramsey's presence was felt throughout the whole defense.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Been keeping an eye on David Long. David Long be getting back there, so I kind of like what we have with him. Eli Apple played a little bit more solid in the second half. Hopefully, Kansas City doesn't run a lot of slants on us because then
Oh my God.
Eli Apple will get eat up.
That's our weakness.
Eaten up. As I hate his effort on those plays. Like I hate his effort on those
Bro,
plays.
we need Javon Holland for that game because of Kelsey.
We need Holland back. Yes.
Like
Right.
Kelsey could chew us in that game.
Oh my
Like
God, yeah.
I am worried about that seam
Yeah,
and
Kelsey
that quick
worries me.
stuff over the middle of the field. You know,
Right.
like Kelsey, man. I mean, and he's
Yeah.
like just I'll and I don't think Swift is going to be coming there because she's got
No
a
way.
Jewish starting backup or whatever. So, but I mean, man, that guy plays like an animal when she's in the stands. Jeez Louise, bro.
I think
man.
I think with the offensive line that was in there, I thought they did very good from a pass blocking standpoint. Running could be better. Run blocking could be better. Hopefully Connor helps with that. Glad Kendall Lamb was okay. Glad Robert Hunt was okay. Austin Jackson surprisingly was the only one that's still 100% healthy. So good for him.
Yeah.
He's got to get that bag, man.
Right.
He has to get that money.
Smythe. Hopefully, I like that we can be able to depend on him for like big chunk games.
Yeah.
He was getting licked all game. Like they were seeing him hard all game. So overall, I give it a B- for the entire team. Defense is definitely coming on as far as like the secondary and their run defense, and so we're seeing more and more progress as the season goes on as far as Vic Fangio's scheme is concerned. Hopefully we at least be able to see what Cam Smith got as far as because I don't know. I mean, Eli Apple again, he plays solid, but I don't know. I just feel like for the entire game though, it's like any team can feast on him, and I don't like that. So other than that, I mean, overall grade for his performance, I give it a B-.
It's gonna be cold next week in Germany. I'm looking at the weather report.
Oh,
It's supposed to rain too, potentially. So
Hmm.
that'll be interesting to see how that all works out.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh shit.
They just need a decisive win there.
Also,
Like it needs to be a good game.
I don't know
prayers
about
up
the
for,
cipher,
Kirk
bro.
Cousins.
Listen, I will take a squeak it out win against the Chiefs. I'm okay with
Right,
that. I don't
right,
need decisiveness.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
just
that he
looking at the
tore his
rest of
Achilles.
them.
I haven't seen the play, but I heard he tore his Achilles.
I saw the replay.
Was that the end of the game?
It was he definitely tore it because you could see on the slow replay, you see his calf, like how you saw
Buckle?
Aaron Rodgers' calf buckle.
It popped.
Yep,
Yeah.
he tore it.
So decisive's not the wrong word. A non-fluky win. I don't want to
Just give me a win, bro. I don't give a shit how you
don't give a
win,
damn
bro.
what
I
win it
care
is,
the
man.
W
Yeah,
is on the
man.
goal board.
Yeah.
What win it
Oh,
is.
well, y'all worried about optics in week 9, bro. I'm worried about the W in week 9, bro.
This
I want the
playoff, this
W more
playoff
than
season.
anything. But
Ain't gonna talk about how we beat them when we get in the playoffs. We're just gonna talk about the fact we just beat them.
Yep.
fair enough.
If we
Fair
beat
enough.
Kansas City, will the playoffs go through us if we beat them?
If we stay in first place, if we win next week, we will be in first place in the AFC.
Okay.
Yeah, the number 1 seed. Yep.
Right now,
Okay,
we're
so
second.
it'll go through us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
I think the big thing here is Rick Woolen didn't get impacted with that ball.
Can't hear him. I don't know if you're talking,
No.
brother, but I can't hear anything. And then the other thing too, dude, is like we don't even have like.
Yep.
What do we have after Kansas City? We got Vegas, New York twice, Washington,
Dallas
Tennessee,
is the only one.
Dallas,
Cowboys,
Baltimore, and Buffalo. Our last 3 games are the toughest games.
Yeah,
Dallas
we
and
got
Baltimore.
Buffalo at home.
Those are all winnable games.
I mean,
Well,
you come out
Dallas
of this
and
game.
Dallas
Holy
beat the crap out of the Rams.
They did. I
They
saw the
beat the
score.
crap out of the Rams. Oh my god.
You come out of
Baltimore.
listen. If you come, you are in a
Baltimore will be
position
rough.
where let's say you lose to Kansas City. Even if you lose to Kansas City, heading into that final 3 stretch, I mean, you're looking at you could be 11-3 heading into that final stretch. I mean,
Yeah.
Vegas, New York twice, Washington and Tennessee. I mean, who scares me the most on that list? Washington or the Will Levis led Tennessee Titans after what I saw today? I mean, come on. I mean, man, this team is in a position where they got this league in this division by this conference by the short.
I think the only game I'm scared of is Ravens.
Reason Ryan Tannehill can kiss his starting spot goodbye.
Yeah, my boy Will lit it up today. Huh?
Will Levis was going crazy.
My boy lit it up today.
Him and D-Hop was going crazy.
Yeah, I heard I heard Ritter went to the bench too for the other Taylor Heineke came in.
Oh, they play Atlanta?
Bro, Will Levis 19 of 29, 238 and 4 touchdowns in his first start.
Wow.
DeAndre Hopkins 4 receptions for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, they was throwing bombs.
Crazy.
He beat the Wash allegations today.
Bro, people were hating on me with Will Levis dropping out of the first round because I was my guy, baby. Bro, wait till they get a load of Drake May. Now they're going to really see what comes out this year. Because Drake May, I don't know, man. Caleb Williams looks like that guy when things aren't perfect around him. While Drake May out here.
And sit his bum.
Yeah, I don't know. There's stuff. And I heard, he wants the team that drafts him. And you can't even do this by, like, it's illegal. Like, well, not illegal, but it's illegal in NFL sense. He wants a portion of the team that drafts him.
I've seen that. He's tripping.
When I heard that,
Who does this guy think he is, bro?
I said he putting too
but
much
it's crazy because
I
I remember
winning his
fucking
Guy hasn't
conference,
even won a
like,
what does this guy won at the NCAA level to be sitting here? Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa and Joey Burrow didn't even ask for that shit. What is this guy?
No.
Right.
And he wanted to play for this team too, which is crazy.
That's what I
Unreal,
said. I said you didn't even win your conference and you on the sideline pouting and you asking for half the team. Get out of here, bro.
He wants to handpick his.
If he drop in the first round for that shit.
He wants to handpick his team too, and all the teams he want to handpick are like good teams. Like they're not going to draft you.
Like you got
They
so much
won't be able to
demand.
draft you.
You got so much
If he wants to be
demand
on
that you
those
can't
teams, he needs to
can't
like
beat
get
your
a
conference.
he needs to get a bong picture or something if he wants
telling
to
you.
jump that far to be on a good team.
Screw Caleb Williams. Chicago needs to go Drake May and Marvin Harrison Jr. back to back.
Wait, so you got Justin. So you really think Chicago Bears is gonna do away with Justin Fields?
Yeah, because this regime didn't draft him.
Yeah, Justin Fields ain't it.
Dude, they're starting Tyler Badgett. What are we watching right now?
Oh,
I know he's hurt, right? But let's be honest. Do you think they started Tyler Badgett last week to win, or do you think they
didn't think they were going to win?
They didn't think they were going to win. They're like, what?
The Raiders are just the Raiders are just the Raiders. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right.
Who do you think? What team would Justin Fields play better with?
Atlanta.
Atlanta would fit.
Maybe
Atlanta in that run first offense, he'll be really good.
Yeah, it would be
that's the team I said should have drafted him back when you go back to that draft was who I should have drafted him, not Kyle Pitts. And now look at Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is useless because they don't have a freaking quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And they're wasting away my boy Drake London too.
If I was Miami, I'll see if
a good call. Atlanta's a good
I'll
call.
see if Atlanta will want to give me Kyle Pitts. Shit, you know what Tua can do?
I'd take. Oh, buddy, all day.
I wish we had Kyle Pitts. I wish we had that guy.
Who else would be good? I mean, I think if you went honestly, he would be disgusting in San Fran's offense.
Oh,
Just
Like Kyle Pitts.
No. Justin Fields, if they made him a better
Oh,
passer.
Oh, Justin
If
Fields.
they made
Yeah.
him a better passer, but they're not going to get rid of Brock Purdy for him, obviously.
Yeah, Brock
But
Purdy's a guy.
my Lord, what he could do in a West Coast, adding that running threat, he would be
Yeah.
deadly, man.
That would be scary.
He would be deadly. I mean,
Oh my god.
why wouldn't New York take a flyer on him?
The Giants.
No,
The Jets should have never
the
paid
Jets.
Jones that much money. They should have never paid him that much money.
I don't
you
think
have you
they're not-
have a decent offensive line. Justin Fields is on a cheap rookie contract. At most, you got Rodgers for one more year.
Yeah.
Groom him under Rodgers for a year. One next year, groom him under Rodgers, then let Rodgers walk because you're not going to re-up him. He's going to be like 41, and
Exactly.
then you give the reins to Justin Fields. And yeah, I mean, you got Breece Hall already in that offense. You got Garrett Wilson. They have
And Alan
they
Lazard.
have decent offensive line pieces. Whether they can stay healthy or not, that's a different
Right.
question. But they have
you got
good
a
offensive
defense.
linemen. They got like Elijah Vera Tucker. They got what's his face? Not they drafted the guy that kicked.
They also
the
have Zach Conklin too. They got Conklin as well.
What's his face?
It's just their offense is not good, but their defense definitely
Are
is good.
you serious right now?
That offensive
14-3
line.
Denver?
They got Mekhi Becton, right?
Wait, what? Denver's beating the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I mean,
14-3.
they got Laken Tomlinson. Sorry, not Elijah.
Yeah.
They got Laken Tomlinson.
Oh, we don't want that to happen.
They got decent offensive line, man.
They do.
If Denver can do that to the Chiefs, then I think we can do that to them too, bro. Why not?
The Vikings are probably going to
What's
tank now
what's
and
killing
go
me,
get
all
May
these-
or
all these-
Williams.
All these so-called Super Bowl
Yeah.
teams are
Yeah, they're moving
freaking
off
struggling
Cousins.
against these.
Yeah, they do have
inferior
Elijah Vera
teams.
Tucker. Is Tucker hurt right now?
He tore his Achilles, I think, too.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, you got Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, Laken Tomlinson. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you got decent offensive line pieces over there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to move off Justin Fields if they have a shot at one of those top guys. Another
I feel
guy
bad for
that
Justin
people are
Fields.
sleeping on, and he's gotten better every year, man. Like, I remember watching him, and I was like, man, this guy has the tools. If he becomes a better passer, he's going to be a stud. And he's become a better passer. Man, he wasn't what he was at Indiana, what he's at Washington. Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
sleep on this kid, man. Penix, he's good, man. Like, Penix
Mhm.
is a beast.
I
He
think
is a
he's going to win
beast.
Heisman. He's my Heisman candidate vote right now.
Bro, if you look
I
at
got
where he's
him
come from
winning it.
Indiana to Washington, if you look
Yeah.
at how far he's come as a passer, it's very impressive. Like, very
And can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can hear
ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you. Yeah.
Man, roll tide, man. I don't give a fuck about the house. As long as we make it to the championship, we ain't losing.
Did you
more
see
games.
Bryce Young today?
I
No,
did. I was
nothing.
happy for him. Man, don't be acting like that, Reason, man. We supposed to be homies, man. Don't be acting like that. Don't be acting like that, bro. Don't be acting like that, bro.
Oh my god!
Don't be
I'm like
doing that,
watching the
bro.
latest project from the Gators. The guy looks like he's electric in Indianapolis, but people are worried about Tua staying healthy. Let's have the real conversation about Anthony Richardson.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
jeez! Is this
Yeah,
guy
they
even
gotta be
gonna
like
see
Lamar
30
Jackson
years
out here.
old in the NFL, man? I don't know.
Yeah, this guy
I
thinks he's
mean,
Lamar Jackson out here running the football.
Look at that.
He's
He's doing
ridiculous.
interception. Come on, Denver.
Who did?
Come
Who
on,
did?
Denver.
Who threw the
Got an
interception?
Broncos
interception
QB?
on freaking. Yes. Who is that? Patrick threw an interception to McMillan.
I need the Chiefs to lock in and win this game, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
if
I
the
need
Chiefs
Mahomes
lose,
to have
that
a good
helps
game
us.
for fantasy.
If the Chiefs lose, that helps us.
29.
Oh yeah, y'all need
Chiefs
it. Okay,
lose, they're gonna
I
be
need them to
pissed
lose
off.
53-52, and I need a huge game from Mahomes. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Okay, I need them to lose 53.
Yeah, that would be a huge upset.
This girl's getting excited for Russell Wilson.
Underthrow
and the
by
Denver
Hey,
Broncos.
if the Broncos win this game,
To
I don't want to
Jerry
hear shit
Jeudy.
about we can't beat good teams.
Yeah, either do I.
Jerry
The
Jeudy,
Broncos
come to
win,
Miami.
The Chiefs can't be
Yeah,
behind,
bro.
Same Buffalo. Same thing, bro.
Hey,
Come
Buffalo
to Miami,
struggled to
sweetheart.
beat both the Giants and the
I mean,
what's
like,
it called,
Buffalo-
Yeah, the
Patriots.
Giants
The
just
Giants.
dominated.
We
them.
just
They lost the
smashed
Jets,
we
and
just
they
smashed
lost
we
Jacksonville,
just
like,
bodied
I
them.
know.
I
Mahomes
hope
killing
Jerry
me.
Jeudy finds a way to come to
We
Miami.
beat those bum Giants,
Man,
bro.
you just
Those
threw a
couldn't
guy.
even beat them, bro.
Hold on. What you gonna do, Russell? What you finna do, Russell? Yeah, run, Russell.
Has
Run,
it-
Russell.
He's
You got
always
touchdown,
already thrown
Russell.
for 3, right? He's already thrown for 2 touchdowns, hasn't he?
Man,
He's like 3 for 6 for 2 touchdowns. What the hell? Like,
hey, it's possible.
What is that?
Good run by Russell though. He
Man,
ran
Sean
that.
Payne has been a disaster over there. Oof. My God.
Good run by Russell. Didn't get the first time, but good run.
All right, let's go through some final thoughts so
Okay.
I can get out of here and get some food. We'll start. Robert, final thoughts, buddy.
Ready for next week, man. Happy to see the win. Happy to see Tua remain undefeated and make Belichick cry. Like, it's just all good days. Let's keep it up.
Brian, final thoughts.
All right, my final thoughts is that, well, I just got to say the win was great, but let's go out there in Germany, beat those Chiefs, get the #1 seed, and just ride along and just get that postseason berth, man. Just keep on rolling. Keep on rolling.
You sound like me earlier with your mic is messed. Barry, final thoughts.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, man, great win. Tua owns the New England franchise, you know. Hey, man, on to Germany and the Chiefs, man. Fins up.
Yep.
I see the question in the chat right now. If the Chiefs lose, both teams would be 7-2. Who are the Chiefs? Who the Chiefs lose to early in the season? Can anyone remind me?
Lions.
The Lions.
Detroit.
So we both have NFC losses, so I don't know how that works. Both of our second losses would be against one AFC and one NFC loss. So if it
But we beat the Broncos.
So close it
maybe
doesn't
that
matter.
works. I don't know how that works.
If they lose to the Broncos and we beat them, we will have the.
That's the tiebreaker. It's not like points. It's not points or anything.
I don't know. I'm
It usually goes
assuming.
to division. I think it goes to divisional next. And what are they in the division? That's a divisional game, right? And we've lost the division. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, we'll
Tyler,
see.
final thoughts.
Like I said, a solid game by Miami, by the team as a whole. Just get ready for Kansas City. Hopefully, Connor's ready to go.
Yep.
Is Devon able to come back, or is that after the bye?
No, 18's coming back for the Raiders game.
After the bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
after the bye.
Well, at least we'll have most of our offensive linemen healthy. Get that first down, Russell. Get that first down. Anyway, but yeah, happy for the team. Let's move on to Germany and get this dub.
Yeah,
Joe,
when you say
your
Miami,
final
you're
thoughts.
talking Super Bowl.
Final thoughts is that Ramsey back is the real deal. I mean, you couldn't be happier with that, right? Knowing that he's like the missing piece that we've had, to see him come back and be the same guy, his brain and his body all in perfect shape, ready to go. You put X on the other side of that. Secondarily, the offensive line being able to continue to deliver on the passing protection, at least, even when just beat up all to hell, just makes me feel so great about our two weaknesses: offensive line, defense, both getting better. We're good to go.
I'll be back tomorrow night for the recap. Me and Omar will be live on Thursday. Fins up, baby. Enjoy it.